All right, scholars, today we're going to be working on 4.9a. I will be able to represent data on a stem and leaf plot marked with fractions. And my demonstration of learning is given 4 questions. I will represent data on a stem and leaf plot marked with fractions with 100% accuracy. Okay, so I will be going through this question right here. Okay, so I will post this question so you can see the numbers clearly, because it is it's going to look a little small and blurry whenever I put it up on the screen right now. Okay, so this is what we're going to be working on. It says Tony recorded the weight of fruits in pounds that he purchased from a store. So here are the fruits. One of them weighed 4.5 pounds. One bag weighed 4 pounds. Another bag weighed 5.5. Another bag weighed 1/2. Another bag weighed 4 pounds. Another bag weighed 4.5, and another bag weighed 2 pounds, and another bag weighed 1.5. Which stem and leaf plot below represents the data? Which stem and leaf plot below represents the data? So my key is 2/0/2 is equal to 2 pounds. So let's go back to our labs. It says read and annotate the problem. So I read it once. Then I'm going to order the data from least to greatest. I'm going to order this data from least to greatest. Then I'm going to match each stem and leaf to the data. I'm going to create my own stem and leaf table with the data that I have. Then I'm going to verify the numbers of data is the same as the number of leaves. Okay, so in total I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so now I'm going to go over to my other screen. I'm going to show you guys how to work this problem now. All right, so here it is. So now let's go through this. So Tony recorded the weight of fruits in pounds that he purchased from a store. So first of all, I know that I have here, this is one bag, 4.5 pounds, 4 pounds, 5.5 pounds, 1/2 pound, 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds, 2 pounds, and 1.5 pounds, right? So now, which stem and leaf plot below represents the data? So I'm looking to see which one represents the data. So SLAPS 1, I have red, this is what I know, this is my data, right? And I am looking for the stem and leaf plot. This is what I'm looking for. All right, that's what I'm looking for to represent my data, so check. Now I'm going to order the data from least to greatest. I have more space over here, so I'm going to pull this up so you guys can see. And now it says, I have 4.5, I have 4, 5.5, 1/2, 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds, 2 pounds, and 1.5 pounds, right? Out of all these, I'm going to go from what? Least to greatest. I'm going to order now from least to greatest. That is my lapse number 2. So my least is this one. So 1/2. After 1/2 is I have 1/2, then it's 1. I don't have a 1, but I have 1.5. So then I have 1.5. Okay. Oh, okay, let me make it this way. That's 1, and then 1.5, right? Then I have 2. Then I don't have a 3. I do have a 4. I have 2 4s. So I'm going to write it down twice, 4 and 4. Okay. Then I have, and I circle, I cross them off. Then I have 4.5. And how many of those do I have? I have 2. 4.5. Remember, I'm going from least to greatest. 4.5, 4.5, right? And then my last one is 5.5. Now that I've done these from least to greatest, now I'm going to make a table. And my table is going to have all this information. Remember when we make a table, we have the stem and we have the leaf. For example, if I have the number 34, 54, 32, 31, stem and leaf for that, stem, it's basically a place value, right? So all my ones would go here and all my tenths would go here. So that would be And they would go in order from least to greatest. So that would be my 3. I don't have a 4, 5. So I have a 34, a 32, and a 31. What's least? 31. Then 32, 32, and then 34, right? 34. And then I would have 54. I have nothing here, so I'm not going to put anything here. I'm not even going to put a 0 because then that would mean I have a 40. So I'm going to put nothing. I'm going to blank, but I have a 54, so I'm going to have 54. That means I have a 31, 32, and a 34. No 40s, and I have a 54. Right? Same thing over here, but this time we're using fractions. So I'm going to start off with my lowest one, right? And my lowest one, if you go back to the question, is we said 1/2 was my smallest. So 1/2 does not have a whole number in front. So it's going to be a 0. And I'm going to put 1/2. And then it was 1.5, so 1.5. Check, check. And then I have 2. Right? And how many? I have 1, 2. So I'm going to put a 0 over 0, right? Because that means, remember my key was very important. Let's go back to my key. I'm so sorry. I'm going to highlight that. My key was very important because it says 2/0 over 2 means 2, right? So I'm sorry. That is 2, 0 over 2. So, and then I have check. I have a 4, so I have 4, 0 over 2. I have 2 of those, so I'm going to put 0 over 2, right? Because that means 4, 4. But then I have a 4.5. So I'm going to write 1/2, 4.5. And then I have another 1/2, 1/2, check. Do I have any more 4s? Nope. But I have a 5.5, so it's 5 and 1/2. So now I have done my table. I have ordered them from least to greatest, right? Least to greatest. Now I'm going to compare to see which table up here compares to mine. So now I have 0 and 1/2, so 0 and 1/2, 0 and 1/2, 0 and 1/2. But I only have 1. This one says 2. I have 2 here. I don't have 2 1/2s, right? Because if you look over here, I only have 1/2. And that says that I have 2, so that's wrong. I know that can't be my answer. This one's correct, and that one's correct. And they also match up to my table, right, to the work that I did. Now, the next one is 1.5. So I'm looking for a 1.5, 1.5. That's correct, 1.5. Ooh, those are both correct, so I can't eliminate any yet. Then I have 2. So I have to have a 0 over 2. I need to have a 0 over 2 because that means that I have a 2 right here, right? That means 1.5. That means a half. So check, check. So I have a 2. Let's see which one of these have a 2. 2, yep. 2, 0 over 2, yep. That means that's a 2. Right? It's a half, 1.5, a 2. Now here it says that I have a 3.5, and here I have no 3. So here I have nothing. Right? So let's go check on my table. Do I have? Oh, I don't even have a 3. Right? I don't have a 3. So I know that this B is wrong because this says I have a 3.5 and there is no 3s up here, no 3s. So there's no way I can have data under 3. So let's look now, let's make sure that if this is our answer, even though it's the last one left, and it makes sense. So I have 4, 4, 4, 4.5, 4.5. Let's see if that's true. I have a 4, 4, 4.5, 4.5. That's correct. And then I have a 5.5. That's a 5.5. Right, so that's correct. And then I have a 5.5. That's correct. So my answer is C. So did everyone see how I did that? Make sure you go through your labs, okay? Go through your labs, read and annotate. Order all the data that is given to you, your I know, from least to greatest. After you order them from least to greatest, this was my step number 2. You're going to make your own table, right? You're going to make your own table, and then you're going to compare your table with the data given to you to your answer choices. And remember, another thing you can do is write out the numbers out, right? So that's half, 1/2, 2, 3.5. This is 4, right? 4, 4, 4.5, 4.5, right? That's what 4.5 means, 4.5, 5.5, 5.5. Okay, then I compare, and I know this was wrong because I didn't have a 3.5. There's no 3.5 in the data. The data has no 3.5, so I know that this is wrong, right? Because my data needs to match this. Because it's asking me which stem and leaf plot below represent the data. All right, scholars, so now it's your time to shine. You're gonna do a little independent practice problem, submit that to me. And once you get that, if you get that correct, then go and begin your independent practice problems and then your DOL. I'll give you one independent practice problem and one DOL. If you have any questions, you know how to contact me. All right.